Alright guys, learn diagnostics. Quick diagnostic on a 120 Prado. It's done 211,000 Ks. I'd guess probably the original injectors. So let's have a look. For a start, you can see the coolant temperature is 35. So it's not stone cold, but it's cool enough. Let's get it started. Okay, let's have a look at some of these readings. We'll quickly go through what they might be when they're cold and the important ones that you should be looking at. Now this is a proper diagnostic scan tool that's expensive, so you don't need to ask what I use, because unless you're a workshop, you don't need one. And if you're a workshop, there's better scan tools than these. This is Toyota only, okay, because that's what we want to do, Toyota only. Okay, calculate load, the third one from the top. Yeah, that's the load. Code, load, calculate load, whatever, right? If you've got it on your scan tool, on your dash, on your app, on your iPhone, or your scan gauge, or whatever you've got, your EDS, that's good. That's one you should be looking at. It's going to be high when the engine's cold. But I suspect, okay, a good set of injectors on this vehicle. Again, the typical most common 1KD diesel in a 120 Prado with a 5-speed auto. A good set of injectors is going to be sitting around 6. A worn set of injectors is going to be around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is pretty bad, because that's Toyota specification. Anything over 12 is bad, they say. It's bad before then, but anyway. I'm suspecting this is going to be around that area somewhere, but we need to see it once it's warmed up. That coolant temp needs to come up to 83. So we'll probably drive it a little bit to speed up this video, otherwise we'll be here for half an hour. Let's look at some other readings, important ones. The only other things you can really look at that give you accurate information when it's cold is the individual feedback values, and you can see quite clearly the injection volume. Don't worry about the belt out there, I'll shut the door actually. Just gave the engine a wash down before we replaced the injectors, so the drive belt's making a bit of noise. Okay, so injection volume around 12, but the engine's cold, so it's going to be up a little bit. Let's watch that come down. Okay, now I gave you the wrong specification on the load just a moment ago, so I'll correct myself. The load reading, I gave you the injection volume. My head, you know, not working right. So load, a good load reading's around 11, and 16 is the limit of where you should be changing your injectors. In correlation with other readings, not just on their own. There can be a few variables there, okay, but it's a really good guide. When I said a good set of injectors is 6, that's the injection volume here, right? Right, that's this one here, right here. 12, it's Toyota says time to change them. I'm telling you, even if it's 10, it's up there in a 120 Prado. In this, there's different injectors, guys. It gets confusing, so let's keep it simple. This is a 120 Prado 5-speed auto, very common. See the big problem we got here at individual feedbacks 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, number 1 is at 2.8, number 3 is at minus 3.6. This pretty well confirms old flogged injectors. They're consistently staying there. One's a positive, one's adding fuel, one's subtracting fuel. Even the Pilot 1, Pilot 2 down the bottom, normally around the 430, they're both jumping around a lot. This is telling us something, right? They're way off what they normally are, even though they're borderline within spec. There's specification and there's what normally happens, okay? This is not what normally happens, and see the main injection period quite high as well, jumping up in the 8s again, and down into the 6s, jumping all over the place. Main injection period does jump around a little bit, but not normally that much. Let's have a quick look at the timing. Oh, the other way, sorry. 13, 6, and 3. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we've seen so far with the coolant temperature at 50 degrees and the load's still up on 23, 24. I'm just going to go for a little drive, warm it up completely, and we'll finish off the rest of the video and show you a temperature where you can actually read the readings and give you the accurate information without any mistakes on what the readings should be and when it's time to replace them. Another quick tip, we've done this in other videos, so search our channel, search the word diagnostics and watch those videos in the entirety. Otherwise you could miss important information. I had someone today that's had that aircon pipe rub through And obviously, yeah, because he's too busy to watch all the videos all the way to the end. You know, he's a funny guy, makes jokes about it, but today it's cost him money. So sit tight and we'll finish off the rest of this diagnostic video and your education. Important bit of information. This has got a terrible knock and feedback value number 3 hasn't changed at -4. This is a typical set of injectors at 200 odd thousand Ks. So don't think because you haven't got a knock like this is not injectors failed, it's just worn injectors. You want to hear this thing, have a listen to it. Not good rattles to have. Alright, noisy, and no surprise. 13-year-old injectors, long overdue, 211,000 Ks. Not so much the Ks, more the time. It's all about time as well, guys, regardless of Ks. We've demonstrated that in other videos. Now, let's look at that load reading. Let me get it right this time. A good set of injectors is going to be on, in this vehicle, around 11%, okay? When it's fully warmed up, see the coolant temp, 85, it may drop a little bit, you know, it's at 83 to 85, thereabouts, right? Full operating temperature, the load is off its head. The limit for that one is about 16%, right? You know, 16, 17, it's not all about that. If you look at the other readings on this system, on these vehicles, you'll see other readings go out at the same time, and I'm about to demonstrate those once again, all over again. And you go watch the other videos and you'll see it's the same information because it's just what it is. Alright, moving down. Okay, not much exciting to see on that screen. Let's just move it down to the usual and get the injection volume at the top and we'll demonstrate. What did I say the injection volume was going to be? I said ideally, once I got it right, ideally it should be about 6 in this vehicle. You know, 7's a bit alright, 8's alright, getting worn, 9's pretty worn, 10's, yeah, she's up there, 11's, look, Toyota says 12's the limit, so Toyota would say, this is okay, because it's within spec, right? Like I say, they write the data, the specifications, and it's based on a lot of different information in other vehicles. These exact vehicles, once they get up above 10 in this sort of area, they are flogged, right? Injection volume for idle should be under 4, and it is, but they don't normally go anywhere in the 3s either. Now let's look at those individual feedback readings, and this is something that way too many people are focused on, these alone. This is not a rating for number 1, 2, 3 and 4 telling you how good they are. It's just the individual feedbacks. They can be okay or not. In this case, anything above, you know, say plus or minus 3 is out of spec. In this case, number 1. So do we go and replace only number 1 injector? No, they're all worn. We've got a big problem here. Stop looking at individual feedbacks alone. 3, 2, 1, go. Replace the injectors. Okay, pilot 1, pilot 2. You can see all over the place, and I say this in videos. If you subscribe and you got the bell on, you may see a video, the diagnostic on this video, after the injectors are done, so you got something to compare to, right? So stay tuned and you'll see what the readings are with new injectors. You'll see this pilot 1 and 2 come down around the 430 pretty consistently. They'll be very steady, none of what you're seeing right now. Main injection, look at that, 7, 8, 50, oh my, 70. It should be around the 600 mark. You'll see it around 550, 600. These suckers are off the heads. We don't need to go any further. They're my favorite readings. Load, injection volume, and main injection period. They're your 3 that you're going to see go out nice and evenly and kind of like at the same time. And look at the timing, that's not good either. But anyway, it doesn't matter because if that's out, everything else goes out before it. This is your easiest one to monitor, guys, your load, okay? That's almost your, this, remember, 120 Prado, 150s are different. You want to know what? I can't fit it in this video. right? People haven't got time apparently. They're busy, so you need to watch the other videos. 150 Prado diagnostics, and if you've got a Hilux, it's the same as this. If it's middle of 06 to around September 09, and the 150 Prado when it came out September 09, that's when the Hilux changed as well. Guys, hope you got something out of this. This has got a terrible knock that seems to have gone away when it's warm. Yeah, you got to watch that when they warm up. If you've got a knock like what this had, mate, you've got problems. The problem here is 13 years. Thanks for watching. If you think I earned your subscription, I hope you subscribe. Please subscribe. Turn the bell on so you don't miss out. Stay up to date with that next bit of information. And, mate, give us a thumbs up if you got something out of that. Please, in the comments as well, if you got any questions, I can't guarantee I'll answer, but I'll be keeping it in mind for the next video. Thanks, guys. See ya.